All good. Hello folks, sorry for this slight delay in starting today's Sorell Planning Authority meeting, the 23rd of June. We've all got today's agenda beforehand. Audio-visual recording of this meeting. I'd like to advise that an audio-visual recording is being made of this meeting. I'd also like to remind everyone present to be respectful and considerate towards others attending the meeting. Language or behaviour that could be perceived as offensive, defamatory or threatening to any person attending the meeting or to those listening to the recording will not be tolerated. There's a list of attendees in the agenda, but we're not all here. So, Councillor Reynolds, does it work?
Councillor Larkins.
As in Deputy Mayor Larkins.
I'm not sure.
And Councillor Campbell. Councillor Campbell may arrive late. Item 3 on the agenda, confirmation of the minutes of the 16th of June 2026. Recommendation that the minutes of the Sorell Planning Authority SPA meeting held on the 16th of June 2026 be confirmed. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Reid and Councillor Nichols to second. Is there any comment on those minutes? No? All those in favour of the recommendation? Thank you. Unanimous? In considering the following land use planning matters, the Sorell Planning Authority intends to act as a planning authority under the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993. Item 5.1 on the agenda, 5.2026.34.1 interim composting facility Southern Waste Solutions. The recommendation is there before you that pursuant to section 57 of the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act 1993, Council resolved that planning application, as stated earlier, for a level 2 activity composting facility, resource recovery at Blue Hills Road, Copping, be approved, subject to the following conditions. Conditions being listed on page 3 and 4. Can I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Reid and Councillor Reynolds to second. Councillor Reid, would you like to open the floor?
Thank you, Mayor. I just simply like to endorse the recommendation. It's a culmination of an activation of many years of planning around organics, recycling and reuse, and the report is comprehensive, deals with the matters given in the representation, and it is complex, so there might be other questions. I only had one, and that is around, well, two actually, sorry, but around the environment that the facility is in. One is simply clarification about the vegetation species, which on one of the maps shows it actually the zoning on the actual landfill site, which just seemed unusual. And the other was simply a question about birds. Those of us who have visited the site are familiar with seeing birds, and it's common at landfill sites, and but it's not something that's addressed in the reports, and I just wondered whether that was an issue with organics being out in the open, I suppose.
I might lead in relation to the mapping of in relation to the mapping of the priority vegetation area. So under the Natural Assets Code, you're quite right, part of that site is mapped. Some of that mapping probably is a little out of date now, given the expansion of that site. That hasn't been revisited since the introduction of the current planning scheme. So, and that's a fairly broad scale. So it is poorly placed but not a relevant consideration given that it no longer applies to vegetation itself in that area.
Okay, thank you.
I can answer to the, well, I can't answer to the bird specifically, but since our last visit to the site, it's changed quite dramatically in terms of what you'd call tidiness.
Okay.
So there is much more management of uncontrollable bits of litter and you know, that pest and bird management control has been a focus.
That's good to know. And good to
I think it's well worth, once this is up and running, I think it's well worth a council visit to check out what is actually happening and how it has changed there now.
Yes.
Because it definitely is a rapidly evolving industry, and yeah, it's quite a, if you can call it a state-of-the-art facility, it's
It was fascinating
Well
to
managed.
visit in previous years, and it's been a little while, so I'd look forward to that and recommend it to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Tronis, would you like to say anything?
No, only that it's an interim 3 years until. Thank you. That's all. No, nothing to add.
Councillor Mirapasada.
Thank you. I do have a question, please. So page 10, there is a representations table, and a couple of the responses are that these are not issues for consideration with the scheme. And so I'm wondering, even if they're not issue of consideration for the scheme that applies to this, are they relevant to what council can do to manage the environment and the issues that have been raised?
If I may speak to that, the assessment of this application is twofold in a sense that council has assessed development against the planning scheme tests. The Environment Protection Authority has undertaken a very detailed environmental assessment, and I think which we've included in the separate attachment. So that's certainly, from an environmental perspective, those controls are set aside from the planning scheme and dealt with at length by their own assessment, by their own environmental scientists. So where the response has been made that it's not a relevant consideration of the scheme, that is true, but it's not to say that it has been missed, but it is not specifically relevant under any test of the planning scheme itself.
Thank you.
Anything further? No? Would you like to round up?
No, all good. I'm happy with that, and just commend the motion to the members of the authority.
Okay. All right then. Thank you very much. All those in favour of the recommendation to approve the Level 2 activity at the composting facility, resource recovery, Blue Hills Road popping, be approved subject to the listed conditions. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you very much. And that brings us to the end of this morning? Oh dear. This afternoon's SPA meeting at 4:45. Thank you very much.